So, my friends, over the past month, what I like to call it, instead of calling it all in, I've been on a little bit of a let go journey, and it has been absolutely amazing. It's been very, very difficult at times. I'll throw some clips up here of the hard times. It's just like I'm in the middle of a workout and I was texting my sister, and it's really hard sometimes to see your body change, and knowing that like this is what I know I have to continue to do to heal myself. Like, what I'm doing is not about my physical body, it's about my mental health. It is about my relationship with myself, my relationship with food, exercise, my entire well-being. It has nothing to do with my physical body. And so whatever happens to my physical body is just what happens. And although I feel so much more free in my mind, it's still really hard. There's been so many more beautiful times. I feel so much more free. I feel so much more connected. I finally feel connected again to myself. I feel like my body and my mind are finally like connected, and I am just like one being, instead of having my mind be so like freaking crazy and my body just automatically like subconsciously going through the motions day in and day out. You know, it's like now I feel like I'm back in control of my life and of what it is I want to do. And instead of feeling like there are so many things I just have to do for silly reasons that my like ego decides to think, I'm doing what I want to do. And it fucking feels good. It feels so good. And I'm very grateful that I did go through a prep again, because it showed me a lot about myself. It allowed me to open up some doors in my psyche, I suppose, of to why I think I resorted to prep and why I am good at it. And just to kind of share that with you, you know, I've been doing a lot of self-reflection, a lot of just being self-aware, a lot of meditation, and just journaling, a lot of like inner healing sort of self-work or whatever you want to call it. And I realized that there were two big significant similarities between the prep that I just went through and when I had my eating disorder. When I had my eating disorder, I was a sophomore in high school. I was like 15, 16, and it was a really big change in my life the year prior. So I went to public school my entire life up until 9th grade, and then I went to an all-girl Catholic high school. Now, the strangest similarity is that both of these changes I chose. Like, I willingly went to that all-girl Catholic high school. It wasn't like my parents like dragged me there and forced me there. Like, I toured a bunch of Catholic high schools in my town, in my area, and this all-girl like preparatory college, whatever the frick school, was the one I fell in love with. Like, I willingly went there. But yet that change, and I've always been one to kind of hate change and try to like hold on to it as much as I freaking can. I remember being in elementary school and coming home from school, and my mom had like rearranged the living room furniture for just like a different setup, and I just remember breaking down and being like, no, this isn't how it's supposed to be. This isn't how the living room's supposed to be. You need to move it back. And she was like, Courtney, chill. I'm just moving the furniture. Like, I can move the furniture. And I just like couldn't let it go. So change has always been a little hard for me to grasp, even if it's something I guess I want to do. I entered that school, and towards the end of my freshman year, beginning of sophomore year, I started to get into my eating disorder. I think the thing with change is that I don't know what to necessarily expect. And I realized I like to try to control and predict my life and my future and like have my control over essentially everything. So when things are seemingly going out of control or just changing and I'm not necessarily in control of it fully, I resort to controlling my physical appearance. And I believe it's because that's the first impression anyone will have of me without knowing me, talking to me, getting to know me, anything, you know? Someone just sees me and they're gonna be like, they're gonna judge my outer physical appearance. And so I resort to controlling that because it's like the only thing left I can control in order to kind of have my life like go how I want in a weird way. This is a lot of like the ego work I've been doing, where in a lot of things that I've just realized and I'm sharing with you. That was that. And now in the beginning of 2019, last year, my boyfriend got a beautiful job opportunity to work with his brother down here in North Carolina, and I wanted to go. I knew I wanted to move with him. And of course it was scary and a little nerve-wracking, you know. I had maybe moments of doubt, but I knew it was what I wanted to do. And so we moved. And it was great, you know. The first couple of months, it was freaking beautiful. I loved it. I was having a great time. And then, you know, you kind of settle in. And again, the same thing with when I had my eating disorder. It was like history repeating itself. And I started to feel a little lost, you know. I didn't really feel like I fit in. Didn't really have any friends, you know. I was only, and I was at home, like I worked from home, I was an online coach, so it was very also like self-isolating, you know. And I just was probably spending more time on my phone, you know, because I didn't have much going on, and came across people prepping and whatnot, and that is when I was like, I want to do this again. Like, what a great time. Like, what else do I have freaking going on right now, right? But if you kind of connect dots, and what I, during one of my like meditations, and I've also self-medicated a little bit with some plant medicine, and just connecting those dots, I'm like, damn, like that is just like the same exact thing happening all over again. It was like, I just resorted to wanting to prep because yes, on the surface, and why, and if you were to ask me why I wanted to prep on the surface, I would have told you, I just want to push myself and see if I can do it again after 3 to 4 years. You know, I'm curious as to what I look like shredded, you know, like how different am I going to look? And again, I've always had the itch, I've always wanted to do it, and now is just the perfect time, you know? That's what I would have said, but I think that truly, subconsciously and internally, I decided to prep again because I knew it was going to give me the control over my food, over my nutrition, over my exercise, my training that I needed and that I wanted, you know? And it kind of was like going through my eating disorder again, only I was more like aware and conscious of it. Like I knew what I was doing, sort of thing. It wasn't like when I had my eating disorder and I just kept letting these thoughts like take control, and then all of a sudden I like landed myself in the hospital and I was like, how the hell did I even do this? Like, how did I get myself here, you know? It wasn't really like that with prep. I didn't even feel like I was really reverting back to my eating disorder. I just felt like these are things I have to do in order to prep. But I think that I'm good at prep and good at flipping that switch because I love or feel like I need to have that sense of control over my life, my body, my physical appearance. It was a brand new place with a brand new people who are only going to know me or have a first impression by the physical appearance I have without like getting to know me, you know? Well, once I made that connection, I was like, now I know that I need to fully embrace this let go journey. Now there's one other thing I kind of want to share, that another like self-realization that I've had with you about Instagram and myself, and it's kind of like bringing it all back to the beginning. So when I was struggling with my eating disorder back in the day, I had recovered, I went off to college, I relapsed, and then I was beginning to recover again. And I decided, and I had the idea to create a different Instagram page. I had an Instagram that was like Courtney Hartman, that all my friends and family or whoever, the girls in my sorority were following, things like that, you know? And then I created another one that I called Courtneysfitstagram. And it was in doing that where I was allowing myself to do whatever it was I really wanted to do without the external kind of pressure, right? So there's a couple of reasons why I created that Instagram. The first one was really to just hold myself accountable, and it really did help. It really truly helped me recover because it challenged me, or I challenged myself to eat different foods and try different meal ideas and fear foods and whatnot, you know, because I never wanted to like post the same picture, you know, like more than once. So I was always trying to think of other things to eat, to have, to challenge myself, to change it up, you know? And it really did help. And then through Instagram, you know, I came aware of macronutrients and tracking macros and IIFYM. So I started to track my macros, and macros taught me so much about food, you know, good food and bad food, and how you can eat, honestly, whatever the hell you want, you know? One cookie isn't gonna ruin your day, sort of thing. Like, it was awesome, you know? And then the other sort of thing I realized about why I think I created this Instagram was, again, in another meditation, I was brought back to this specific memory of being at this charity event with my sorority. And when I created that separate Instagram page, I blocked everybody. My sister, my mom, anybody I knew in real life was blocked from that Instagram. It was like my safe little escape. And well, I was brought back to this memory of someone in my sorority, one of my sisters, saying, like, oh my God, you have a fitness Instagram? Oh, cool. And I was like, oh, no. Just had that memory very randomly during my meditation, right? And I made this connection then that was like, I didn't want anybody to know about that page because, like I said, it was like my little escape from the real world, you know, where I was struggling, right? And it's almost like any time that I've been struggling in my real world, I just dive into Instagram, you know? Courtneysfitstagram from 2014 to 2016 turned into Courto_3 that you're following now. It's been the same page, you know? I also, as we know now, have a hard time letting things go and allowing change to take place. So while Instagram was changing and evolving, you know, instead of changing and evolving with it, I now realize I was desperately trying to hold on to whatever the image that you might have of me, which I know is silly, but I do a lot of overthinking, which I'm getting a lot better at, but I allowed the idea, or what I thought you guys would have thought of me, like looking at my page, right? Like, I've always been fitness and nutrition and progress pictures and tracking macros and, you know, that whole thing. And I just finally was like, I think I'm having like freaking identity crisis. You know, I felt like I was so desperately trying to continue to be that person, but it wasn't what like I actually needed to be doing in my real life. And that is, again, I think why I felt really disconnected, because I was trying to continue to portray this image that I just literally assume that other people have of me. And that's another thing that we're currently working on, is to not think about what other people are thinking of me, and to just, again, do whatever the hell I want to do. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but like, this is just me living unapologetically, completely unfiltered, completely unrestrictedly. And if you don't like it, that's fine. But anyway, I just realized that I wasn't being true to myself, and I wasn't tuning into myself and to what my real inner self, not my external physical being self, but my true internal self wanted and needed. And I finally have, and it's been a beautiful freaking 2 months. It's been beautiful. It's been so amazing. I feel so much more me, so much more genuinely me. Like, I'm not trying to force it, or I'm not like, oh God, I need to go on Instagram and show my face sort of thing, you know? I don't want to feel that way anymore, and I'm letting that go. I'm letting go of a lot of things that I've been identifying with for a very long period of time that just no longer serve me. So right now I'm letting go of tracking my macros, being super on top of my nutrition, and instead I'm allowing myself to nourish my body however I want or need in that specific moment, whatever that may be. I'm also allowing myself to take a step back from exercise, and the reason is because I realized exercise has always kind of validated my reasons for eating. Whether I was bulking or cutting or just maintaining, it was like, oh, okay, I have to, you know, I don't know, it always seems to validate the way that I eat. If I'm eating more, it's because I'm like bulking sort of thing, and working out in that sense. And so I don't want to have that when it comes to how I'm eating right now. I don't want exercise to influence the way that I eat, because it has for a while, and I need to kind of untrain that part of myself. So I've taken a step back from training. So instead of 5 days a week and like however, and 5 days a week of cardio, I've been working out, doing about 2 to 3 at-home workouts a week, and really just going on walks with my puppy, and sometimes to just clear my head and to go out and like meditate and just get away from the weird world and tune into myself again, to make sure I am continuing to do what it is I know I need and want for my real self. I'm also letting go of the need or the pressure that I place on myself to constantly show up on Instagram. And I realized that I put a lot of pressure on myself to show up on Instagram every single day, because one, I see other people doing it, and I see other people having great success in businesses and blah, 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 you know, and I'm like, damn, like that's what I have to do in order to have a great, successful business. So two, up until recently, I've placed the needs of others over myself. It's just something that I do. I'm a giver. I want to take care of you. I want to make sure you are happy and your life is going beautifully. And I will do that as much as I can. And I, you know, think about me doing that with the Instagram I have, you know, so many people asking me questions and wanting my help and my advice and my tips and this and that. And it's like, I was trying to give myself to essentially 90,000+ people and never tuning in to myself and to my own wants and needs, you know? And so I have to get better at that, and I have been. And so I'm just letting go of that. I'm letting go of this idea that I need to be this huge fitness or just whatever influencer, I guess, who needs to be on their Instagram page every single day. I'm letting that idea go, because I've identified with having a large following for a very long time, and I think that it does subconsciously make me feel like I need to be something I'm not. And the reason anyone follows me, which I now completely understand, is because you want to, because you like me, you enjoy my energy, you want more of me, you know, and I love that, and I want to give you more of me, and I'm going to give you the realest, truest, most genuine, purest form of Courtney ever. So it's gonna be great, but I have to let go of that idea that I need to be on there every day and posting every day. It's too stressful for me. I put too much pressure on myself, and it's not healthy for me, you know, because I care too much, and I need to remember to fill my own cup up before I give it all away. So those are like the 3 things that I'm working on right now and letting go of, and I want you to be a part of this journey. I feel so much more free and like independent and just like, I don't know. It's like all of the handcuffs that I had are finally broken free, and it feels really freaking good. So there will be more videos to come. Of course, I'm sure you have a bunch of questions about like, what are you eating, and this and that, and how does your day go now? Like, what kind of workouts do you do, and all these things. And I'm also letting go of the idea that I need to just be fitness and nutrition, because I am so much freaking more than that. So I'm letting go of that idea that I am this fitness and nutrition person, and that I am just me. And I have a lot of things that I like, a lot of things that I enjoy, a lot of new things that are coming into my life, a lot of new hobbies and pastimes and just new things I'm learning that I want to share with you, because they've changed the way I look at myself, look at the world, and look at what is truly important to me, and I know that they'll be beneficial to you too. So you'll be getting a lot of me that you've never gotten before, because for the past 6 years I've really just been fitness and nutrition, and I'm allowing myself to step out of the box that I've placed myself in. And I hope that you will continue to, I'm not saying I'm not going to give you any fitness and nutrition. That's still a part of my life, you know? Like, I love working out. I love being active. I love nutrition. I've been eating a lot of new foods and recipes that I can't wait to share with you, but it's not going to just be that. There's a lot more to me. So you'll be learning a lot of different things from me in the upcoming future. But yeah, I really wanted to bring you guys kind of just back in. Over the past month, I finally feel so much more just real, connected, present. Feel like my mind and my body are one again, and it's a beautiful freaking feeling. You guys have been a part of my life for whatever parts of it I've shared for so long, and I can't wait to continue and just share more and just feel so much more connected to you, because it's what I want to do instead of doing what I've felt like I've had to do. It's like the ways that I've been identifying have driven me to feel like I have to do certain things in order to maintain that sense of identity, but I don't want that identity anymore. So here's to letting go of all of the past conditioned and subconscious automatic thoughts and identities and things that I have that have made me who I am today. And here's to allowing more just freedom and abundance and flowingness into my life. Something I've been saying to myself recently is that nothing feels forced anymore, and everything is just flowing. So I'm super excited, and thank you so much for watching this video and listening to me ramble and talk about my craziness and all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching. It means so freaking much to me. If you've watched the whole thing and you're hearing me say this right now, I know that you're a real one, and I appreciate you. I love you. I'll see you soon, and have a great day.